Hi everyone. In Vectorworks 2022, they made a major update to the way that textures are applied to objects. The videos for the course were all created in Vectorworks 2020, and most things are still the same. There are a few tiny tweaks, but there's a pretty major change to the way that textures are applied. In 2020, you could create a texture that was sized to, for instance, wrap all the way around a cube, and you were able to apply the texture and have it wrap around the cube. In 2022, if I try to do that, if I go to texture and select this texture, which has the different sides of the box, it does this. It does not wrap it around. It starts over again on every side. This texture actually, if you look at it, you'll see that it has all of the sides, not the top and the bottom, but all the sides of the box laid out next to each other. And so if it were to wrap around, it would work properly, but it doesn't do that. So that's bad. The good news is that the reason that it doesn't do that anymore is because now you have the ability, which you didn't have before, to apply an individual texture to each side. So it's more flexible, but it's more time consuming. So the way you have to do this now is this. With the object selected, select the texture tool, and then select a texture that you want to put on that side. I'm going to use the same texture, the texture that has all of the sides on it. I'm going to double click there, and then I'm going to click on the side that I want, and you'll see that it applies a texture just to the one side. And then over here I have control. Under texture, you'll see overall. I don't have an overall texture on the object, but I'm going to have 6 different face overrides. So the first one is this one. I can, you'll notice that I can either rotate this 90 degrees and then adjust this to be 0, and then flip it horizontally and vertically, or I can change it from surface UV to auto align plane, and that should make it line up right. But then I have to offset it by 48 inches or more to get it to, so that was, I'm going to try minus 48. All right, so there's left. So I'm just going to repeat that for every side. So I'm going to take the texture tool, I'm going to apply it to this side, I'm going to go ahead and go to auto align plane. Oh, interesting that it didn't, so that I'm gonna have to rotate that 90 degrees. Oh, that's the wrong side. That's why that didn't do that. So now I have to go to here, I have to zoom, to scroll down, see why I'd say this is more time consuming. Choose the next one, tell it to be auto align plane, and this should be front, so I'm going to offset this by 48, and that's not enough, so I'm going to add another 48. There we go. So I'm just going to keep going all the way around the box using the texture tool and selecting. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you which side you're on. You just sort of have to know which side you're dealing with. Change it to auto align plane, and this should be right, so we're going to offset it 48, and there we go. And we're going to go back around to this side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to apply the texture to that side. We're going to go down to there, auto align plane, and that's right back. Whoops. Front, left, back. Okay. Then for the top and the bottom, they're separate textures. So I'm going to use the texture tool. I'm going to select the top and double click and apply it to the top. So you'll see, rather than moving things, shifting them by 48 inches, I could have just made 6 different textures that were the right size to start with. And sped up the process a little bit. So then for the bottom, I'm going to select box bottom, and then I'll select bottom here and do that auto align plane. So, like I said, it's less. It takes more time. It's more flexible. So there's a trade-off there. What they've done is they have gotten rid of perimeter, which was the mode that let you wrap things around. You can still wrap things around. It's just that they start over again. So if you have something that's not an obvious front side whatever texture like this, so I'm going to delete all of these overrides. Holding down shift here, I'm going to right click, I'm going to remove the texture override so there's no texture on this. If I were to apply a texture that is less like, I don't know, let's pick bricks or something. How about a wood floor? It will wrap it all the way around. It just starts over again. And you can't really tell what's happening with this because it's identical on all four sides that it's starting over again. But so for something like this, it's fine. For something like this, where you want control of the sides, you have more control now, but it takes more time.